Hey everyone, hope you're well. Welcome back to a new video. A little bit of a sporadic one today, but I've just taken delivery of my new contract upgrade. So I was previously using a Note 20 and I had the option to upgrade early, so I thought we would go for it. Gone for something a little bit different. This is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 5G. I've not really had that much experience with foldables, to be honest. I looked at I think it was the Mate X from Huawei back in Spain a few years back, and that had the kind of cameras on it, and then the screen kind of wrapped around, and then you'd have your front camera as part of the bit that folds, and you kind of unfolded it in a weird design. I was more a fan of the Samsung, the way it folded, purely because that bigger screen was well protected rather than just having it, you know, exposed all the time. But the real small front camera on it just really put me off. So they've come a long way though since you know, that generation. The second one was a vast improvement on the first, and again with the 3 from the 2. So we shall see. My whole idea of really getting this was to hopefully improve my productivity. I do a lot of script work for reviews and things like that, so to have the script on one side and then product specs on the other to reference and things like that is quite helpful. Kind of a middle ground as well between a phone and a laptop, so hoping that it'll work out well for what I want to do with it. Also, another thing I really like is IPX8 water resistant as well, so to be able to, you know, put water resistance on a folding screen just kind of baffles me. But let's get it open and actually take a look at it. So I've come from a Note 20, that's my previous phone. I think I'm going to try and get this stylus so I can use that on this phone. I really did like that with the Note series. So, of course, a chonk. Now, also, I bring this up every unboxing. I did it with the Note 20 as well. EE sends their boxes literally in a packet. This is horrifically trashed. Really not a fan of them just sending it in a packet. I get that it's cheaper. Obviously, it's all about saving money, but it just looks awful. It's not even display worthy now. I know a lot of people like to display their boxes and stuff, but you just couldn't do it. It just looks horrible. Including accessories, USB-C cable, warranty card, quick start, and that's it. You don't get a power adapter with this anymore, which is, I think it's a bit of a shame for the people that will go from upgrade to upgrade and sell on their previous phone, because obviously you get a charger with your previous phone, you're going to need to use it on your new one, or you're going to have to buy the optional one. You know, you either need it or you don't, but it's a bit of a shame they don't include it, I think. So the fold itself, bloody hell, this is a experience. This is a massive peel. So let's one of the biggest peels that's not a PC case I've ever done. So here it is. So it's fingerprint magnet by the screens, but you know, you're going to expect that. I'm going to get a case for this as well, hopefully one that takes a stylus, so I can have that all in one little package. So let's talk about the resolutions and things. So the small cover screen is a 2268 by 832, so they call it candy bar mode when it's folded. And then you've got your big screen, which is 2208 by 1768. So this is a 7.6 inch AMOLED display. Got scratch resistant Gorilla Glass Victus as well, which will be on this side. Obviously you have more of a plastic finish on the actual fold. Oh, it's weird. I'm really hesitant to actually fold it. There's also some plastic on the sides. Oh, strange. It's an absolute chonk as well. It's 274 grams, I think it is. 277 grams. So yeah, it's quite heavy. You know, considerable size difference. So if you look at the thickness wise, it's almost 2 notes thick. But of course, when you get it flat, it's the same thickness. The fact that they can do this is really blowing my mind. So let's just turn this on while I chat some more specs. It has got a fingerprint reader on the side as well. You can actually do it so you can press that and it will unlock rather than you having to wake the screen then unlock it. This is an octa-core processor, which is a Snapdragon 888. It's got 25 watt fast charging, and then you've also got 10 watt wireless charging, which is what I'll be using when I'm at the office. 4,400 milliamp hour battery. I'm quite curious to see how the battery life is with this. That's something I could always add in a pin comment. You can get it with 256 gigabytes of storage and 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is what I've got, or you can get a 512 or 12 gigabytes of RAM. Personally, I only store stuff that's like photos for Instagram and stuff on here, so I'm not going to need that mass amount of storage that some people will, but the option's there if you need it. So by default, if you have your phone on with the screen here and you open it, it will continue, but if you do it the other way around, so you've got something open and then you close it, it will turn the screen off. You can change that round, so if you want it to continue, I think there are a few apps that really take use of that, so that'll be a bit of trial and error to see what really works for me. So on the back we've got the cameras. There's a 12 megapixel telephoto wide and ultra wide, all the same. The under facing one's a 4 megapixel, and then you've got a 10 megapixel selfie camera on the row front. So I think I'm going to get all my usual apps and stuff installed on this, so you can compare it a little bit better to the old phone and the experience and stuff. So I'll come back tomorrow when I've done all that. So the next day, and I've installed everything that I wanted to from my previous phone onto the new one, and it's now got the fingerprint set up, so I could just gently touch it and it will unlock rather than pressing and then doing it, which is nice and speedy. Opening it out, there were a few apps that I was wondering about how they were going to perform with a full size. So for example, Instagram is one of the ones that doesn't fill the screen. I went into the settings and found the labs options, and there were some kind of experimental settings which allow you to use apps that don't natively support multi-window in a multi-window view. I also added the option to kind of get rid of the information at the top, so you get more real estate on the screen. So for example, I've got Chrome open and then I've got Instagram on the other side. Typically I'd use YouTube at the top of the screen on my note, and then I'd have like social media below, and that's nothing that I could actually do with Instagram. So it's actually nice to be able to use apps that don't natively support multi-window on this, without any problems at all. Another app I use quite a lot is Twitter as well, and on the Fold 3 I've gone for the full black dark mode. So as you can see, the AMOLED is just turning off the pixels that aren't being used, so you get a black that's as deep as the color of the phone. So if you're going to be using Netflix or anything like that, the black bars that you're going to get at the top of the bottom are going to be the deepest black possible. I did have a playback with the camera as well, and it's passable. It's nothing that, amazing. If you're going to be buying a phone with photography in mind, then you're going to be looking at something like the S22 Ultra lineup that's gone real heavy on camera specs. So going back to the in-screen camera, I found that I didn't notice it when I was just generally consuming content. It's at a point in your peripheral vision that it disappears, so unless you're actually looking at it, then obviously you can see the pixels where it allows that camera lens to look through the screen, but otherwise it just vanishes from your vision. I've not had too much time to really go in depth with the battery and stuff like that, so I can't really tell you too much about that, but for the evening I used it last night, it went down by about 20%, so that's not too bad at all. And I did try a little bit of scripting as well, and it worked exactly as I wanted it to. So I had the information on the product on the left and then my script on the right. I did see that when I were to bring up the typing box or the keyboard, that the left hand side, which had the product information, dims. I want to see if there's an option to turn that off so it all stays at the same brightness, because I assume that it does that just so you could focus on what you're typing more than anything else, so it doesn't distract you. But being that I want to be able to see everything at once, I will see if there's an option for that. But the primary case that I got the phone for is working well, so that's a definite win. And then again, just touching on EE with their postage, absolutely battered box, so nothing that you could display. I know a lot of people do like to display their tech stuff, so a bit of a shame there, but we're there for the phone primarily over the box, so we can live with that. So I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know if you do want to hear a full review, and I'll do that in the future. A little bit of a less in-depth video in comparison to some, but it's just something I thought that I'd do, as I did have the phone arrive at a decent time. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and ding the bell so you don't miss a future one, and I'll see you all in the next one.